What's up, guys and gals, and it's great to see you again here at the Nerd Castle. We're playing Shadowrun Returns today. As always, I plan to put one of these out a day, you guys know the drill. But where we were at, we had successfully decked into Telestrian Industries' internal network. We had shut down the elevators after just fighting swarms of guards. Our resident friend, Gallowglass, managed to get himself punctured quite frequently, but we've got him back up now. He's okay. Luckily, he's not hard to get back up, so he's a good friend to have around. Let's go ahead and give him some heals, though. And I'm actually going to have him use one of his level 1s on himself, just to kind of see what happens. That actually didn't work out so great, but since he comes with his own equipment at the beginning of every episode, or the beginning of every mission anyways, they said that the elevators were down and ready to roll. So let me see what elevator they want me to jump back onto. It's this one over here. Alright, Woogie's still hiding in the vent. He's just terrified by this whole exchange. Robots don't normally feel fear, but he's had so many bullet holes put into him that he's just sitting whimpering in the corner like a little kitten, a little robotic kitten that is more than likely to shoot you. Let's see how far we can move Coyote out here. And now that everybody's patched up, I'm really pleased with the way that last engagement went. I am incredibly surprised that that whole thing didn't just backfire on me. It's weird. Is it weird that that chair gives us like full cover? That must be a very sturdy chair. I commend you, chair craftsman, on your ability to create chairs that, for whatever reason, are just indestructible. Let's set people up on the sides of the doors. Here's our friends at the security cameras. They've been having reasonably terse conversations. Well, they've been kind of filthy conversations between robots. I mean, him and Woogie have just been... You don't even want to know the types of things the security camera and Woogie have been talking about. Let's get on out of here. I could jack back in and make sure that I cleared out that entire network, but the Baron said that time is of the essence. I don't know if he was just turning a phrase right there, or if he actually meant it, but let's get all of our guys to the elevator, I think. There we are. And let's see how far we can move everybody else here. I really wish it would let me out of combat in this situation. It's incredibly disappointing sometimes that I just have to, like, turn base my way across an entire level. Alrighty, and I think Coyote's probably going to be next up. Her gun is just badass looking. Every time she runs around, I'm just impressed by the firearm that she carries with her. Your comlink chirps again and the Baron's face appears on screen. His voice is far less confident than before. This is new. You didn't know about this control panel. Great. Apparently, Mr. Silverstar's reputation for paranoia is well-founded. This panel is a hard-coded door control that cannot be accessed from the Matrix, and it wasn't here yesterday. How did he have it installed so fast? Well, that's just great. You got a plan? Like a real one? Somebody will think of something. Very well, this will work, but the plan requires you and only you to stay the night. You have my attention. Wait, you've seen how many badges they have in this place? I need all the firepower I can get. You will find the elevator, once again under our control, goes to an empty parking garage and to safety. Your hired help will be able to clear the building with ease. You, however, will be Telestrian's newest employee come sunrise. Now, allow me to tell you where you need to go. That is no fun at all. I don't like where this is going one tiny bit. Yeah, at least it let us autosave. You hunker down in the janitor's locker room amid the smells of industrial-strength cleansers, floor wax, and body odor. Sleep is impossible as you must be constantly on your guard for the telltale sounds of security teams or building maintenance crews. Morning eventually comes, and with it another chance at Project Aegis. Is it just me, or is it a little strange that we whacked like 15 people and nobody's the wiser? Like, they don't think to look in the broom closet after we annihilate an entire division of their corporation. Nobody's just like, let's take a look around. Nope, they just seem to be accepting the situation. But we'll roll with it. I'm going to accept the premise on the foundations that I really like Shadowrun. Good morning, mon ami. You look well. You better have had a good reason for locking me in here overnight. Given Mr. Silverstar's paranoia about security, we couldn't get into his office in a straightforward manner last night. However, thanks to the mayhem created by you and your Shadowrunners, a situation ripe for exploitation now exists. Ripe for exploitation, eh? While you waited here, I continued to probe, looking into some of the less secure and more mundane Telestrian office files. Shipping records indicate that Mr. Silverstar recently took delivery of several paintings he commissioned after being promoted to VP of Telestrian Security. The shipment was called Our Values. On the same day, Building Maintenance reported installing the artwork in his office at the same time as a piece of equipment purchased from Fuji Corp. Although they attempted to obfuscate its use, I believe it's in the safe. And the sample is in the safe. You are very bright. Mr. Silverstar is personally conducting the investigation into last night's break-in. He's interviewing personnel who may have had pertinent information. You need to be one of the personnel he interviews in his office. Once you're inside, you'll need him to leave so that you can find a way to get the sample. So I tell him I have evidence so I can get inside his office for an interview. Close, you will plant evidence of your own creation. There are 3 matrix energy or emergency power junctions on this level. If we add some comlink chips to them, it will make last night's run appear to be preparation for a larger run. It will bring the attention of Telestrian security. You've got to be kidding me. There's a janitor's uniform, ID badge, and comlink chips in the locker. They will get you general access and allow you to pass a basic inspection. The rest is up to you. One more thing, Mr. Silverstar is well known for his creative security measures. You do well to learn as much as you can about this man before meeting him. Now, quickly change and I'll unlock the door. Funsies. I don't like where this is going whatsoever. Now we're bearing a striking resemblance to our dear friend Mr. Clean, but we've got sexier sideburns. Our sideburns are definitely in a superior configuration to Mr. Clean's. Let's go ahead and take a look around here in the hallway. I get the feeling this might be a Chatty Cathy episode. Hopefully I don't blow anything here. I'm going to hold down the out key all the way in and just see what we can locate for ourselves. Alrighty. The supervisor has the look of a Stuffer Shack manager with delusion that he's on a career track rather than what he is, a disposable dime-a-dozen resource. Hey! There you are. I'm Steve Scott. I'll be your direct supervisor. Sorry I missed you when you first came in, but I only found out that you were starting an hour ago when you suddenly showed up in our system. Must be some kind of weird glitch or something. Normally we'd watch an orientation trid and talk through our mission statement, but it's going to be hard for you on your first day. But you're going to need to clean up some blood. Maybe a lot. Cleaning up other people's mess is what I do. You'll have your hands full. There was some sort of break-in last night. Some people were, well, just get things cleaned up on this floor. And listen, people are kind of going to be on edge today, so try to stay invisible and don't get in any trouble. Otherwise, they're going to call me and I'm going to have to reprimand you and put a note in your file. Sounds good. We'll get to those orientation trids another day. I hope they get whoever did this. Only a fool would attack a Telestrian corporate office and think they can get away with it. Start heading from room to room and clean what needs to be cleaned. Good luck and welcome to Telestrian. And off he goes. He needs to eat himself like a cheeseburger or something. He's looking a little skinny. Get himself some weight so he can push people around. What can I do for you? I need to get upstairs. My supervisor says there's more cleaning to be done. The top floors can be accessed with the express authorization of Eric Silverstar only, our VP of Security. You can head to the lower floors if your supervisor wants. Alright, well I'll get back to it. I wonder why nobody's noticing that I have like a military-grade drone following me around either. A severely damaged, shot-up military-grade drone. I'm gonna guess that these guys aren't the... well, they're not the spiciest onions in the patch, I suppose. Let's talk to this security guard over here, I guess. I don't know if I should try and find a mop or something first. The two men are staring into the vent and shaking their heads. Look, Raoul, I know and you know that there's nothing in that vent, but when I told that to Silverstar, he accused me of not wanting to crawl in there. Said it was letting the company down by not displaying the corporate value of duty. They're missing a word right there. The suits sure love their mission statements and all that dreck, but today isn't the day for Telestrian Corp's duty above all crap. Several of us did the ultimate duty last night. I guess we should just be happy Mr. Telestrian isn't in today. Just get in there and take another look. I gotta go upstairs and report. I'm gonna resist the urge. Just ships passing in the night, I'm gonna resist the urge to make an ultimate duty joke right there because I feel like we're above that. I know there's a lot of lowbrow humor here at the Nerd Castle, but I feel like that one might be, you know, I might be using a driver when all I really need is a pitching wedge for that one. Let's see what's in the rest of these rooms. I'm gonna sort of filter around because I feel like there's a lot of ways this whole thing could go wrong. I'm gonna check whatever this manipulation thing is here. I can manipulate with this, and I'm gonna manipulate with it like crazy. Looks like you could get the access panel off easily, but the Telestrian technician could turn around at any moment. Alright. Well, I gotta get him out of the room. Let's take a look around and see what else is here, just in case we have to kind of fabricate a massive, super awesome James Bond plan to make this whole thing work. There's not a whole lot more areas we need to canvas anyways. It's like this room, and I think there's one more down below it, so... I have to say at this point, it's not looking good. I don't know how it happened. Nonetheless, our records show this terminal was left unsecured in direct contravention of Telestrian corporate security. You failed in your duty. Looks like you should be in the Elvish version of Hansen. I know it's duty above all for you security types, but I'm the victim here, I swear. Perhaps when Mr. Silverstar gets his next promotion, that'll become a value for you data pushers as well. Right now, it seems like your value is clock out early and ignore my responsibilities. Don't go anywhere, I need to make my report to Eric. That's right, don't you Ummbop off anywhere, pal. We're keeping our eyes on you. I got it on lockdown. It's all good. I was a little bit worried right there it was going to crash and not pan out. Well, I don't really want to talk to Ummbop yet. We're going to let him go, and we're going to see what else is all around here. Although, if I end up walking through one of these doors and triggering an alarm and just getting myself into all kinds of trouble, it's going to be deeply, deeply embarrassing if I could have circumvented it in some way. All these doors are locked. Alright, we'll take that. Seems to be the TP closet right here. Never have enough of those at work. There is nothing worse than running out of TP at work. Just the worst case scenario. 4 hours left on the clock and no TP. Dismal, dismal day. The wage slave is on edge. He's staring vacantly at his terminal with his hands to his face and his fingers twitching nervously. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Looks like you're in some real trouble, chummer. Buzz off. Unless you can clean up a shattered career, leave me alone. I'm sorry, man. You want to talk about it? We can sing songs. None of this will matter after I'm fired, out on the street and eating dog food. Just leave me alone. God. Let's check this terminal out. It would only take a few moments to install the chip, but perhaps it's not the wisest course of action while in view of a loyal wage slave. Okay. Well, we can't really... Let's see if we can get him out of the way, maybe. Well, I think maybe I should have told him to make a run for it. I didn't see what the other option was. I got caught up in the moment, guys. I had Hansen jokes and they clouded my vision. It's alright. Let's see if we can get rid of this tech up here first, I suppose. And he's going to go around the long way, even though I told him to click the door. It's fine. Whatever. It didn't happen in... Are you being for real right now? God. I don't even know what to say right now. So disappointed with Splattercat. Let's see here. As the Telestrian tech jockey turns to speak, you notice a panel has been removed from one of the land racks behind him. Thanks for coming in. Can you believe it? Silverstar's calling it an intrusion, but I know in the aftermath of a Shadowrun when I see it. Start over in the corner and make sure you don't get any solvents on my servers. You think you could duck out for a smoke or something? It'd be easier if I didn't have to clean around you. We got a charisma check right here. We're gonna take it. Oh, yeah, sorry. No problem, man. Just another day in paradise, right? So he's up out of the room now. That's good. We'll take it. And so let's get that chip installed. Remove the access panel and place a comlink chip. There it is. The access panel comes off with a quiet pop, and you place a chip inside. 2 karma gained, and I actually think we have a lot of karma to spend right now. Yeah, we have 24 karma again. Let's spend away before we run out of options or we find ourselves in combat. We were in the last episode thinking about beefing up our ability to handle our drone friends. So let's get drone control up to 6. There we go. And with 18 left over, we can get to the next AP bonus for Woogie. So there it is. I may want to think about at this point. We've specialized far enough down the chain where I think I'm going to start carrying some medkits for our robotic friend, just to make sure we can do some mechanical repairs if we need to. Beyond that, how much... Oh, we can go one into dodge. Let's do that, just to avoid some projectiles. And so we've made pretty good use of all the karma on hand. Let's check out the server rack over here and see what we can do. The open panel is a rat's nest of cables and half disassembled hardware. Some of it's loose. Let's take the LAN parts here. I don't know what we need the Matrix LAN parts for, but it's for a LAN party. We're gonna get it. Can you imagine the type of awesome games they must have on the Matrix? I was thinking about that the other day, and if you played like Elder Scrolls Online, but like the Matrix version, I bet you would like be in the Matrix, like period, just walking around all over the place in Cyrodiil, causing all kinds of mayhem. It'd be incredible. A filthy guard is looking into an open vent. He's clearly not enjoying the idea of climbing back into the duct. Sorry I tracked that Drek all over the floor. He shakes his head. Man, I can't believe what happened to last night's watch. We're gonna do another charisma check. We're doing pretty well right there. Yeah, me either. You think you're done with the vents for the day? They want me to get this room back in order. If anyone asks, you saw me in there, alright? And so out of the room he goes. Let's figure out what our options are here. Obviously, we're going to need to manipulate this bad boy, just like we manipulated his friend, his sister, his brother, whatever we manipulated previously. We're going to manipulate them both. Comes off with yet another pop, and you place the chip inside. 2 more karma gained. They're just dishing out karma like crazy. The dungeon master for this game is so much more benevolent than I am when I run these sorts of things. Let's see if we can finally get this. Let's see if we can get Ummbop out of the way. None of this will matter. Okay, so we might have the thing to help you out. He shakes his head. I doubt it. You know that guy who said life isn't fair? Well, he was talking about me. Charisma 4, we can say that security is bullying him, but I can make it look like your terminal was tampered with and no one would be the wiser. You're right, there's no reason I should let security push me around. He steals himself. Just do it quick. Alrighty, let's get in here, and I think it'll be mission accomplished. It would only take a few moments, but wait, no, I bet he thinks, oh, never mind, the terminal over here, gotcha. Gotcha. He placed the cables and data chips around the terminal's casing. Just a bunch of pile of crap on the floor. That'll totally work on any IT professional. Just lay a bunch of parts on the floor. Thanks so much. I won't forget this when your review comes up. Hey, no problem, sir. I'm just glad I could help. Would you mind clearing out of here for a minute? There's a lot to do. You bet. Just remember to keep this thing between us. Alrighty, so now with him out of the way, hopefully he loses himself in a drum kit or something over here. We'll go ahead and pop this open. The jokes are endless. The Hanson jokes really are. Remove the access panel. There it is. And yet the third pop. The third pop is the charm. Now what do we do? Those have been planted. Now we got to get to Eric Silverstar's office. Alrighty then. Let's be on our way. What can I do for you? I need to get upstairs. My supervisor says there's more cleaning to do. Top floors may only be accessed with the express authorization of Eric Silverstar, our VP of Security. You can head to the lower floors if your supervisor wants. Well, I found all these chips on some of the matrix switch boxes. Is that important? The guard thinks for a moment and activates his comm link. He turns his back on you and has a brief conversation. He turns back. Mr. Silverstar wants to see you in his office immediately. Rightio, let's do this thing. We're about to transition. Let's take care of business. Collecting the sample. The brutish dog-eat-dog existence of a slum dweller is a far cry from the quiet desperation and existential nothingness of a corporate wage slave. Yet, after your time at Telestrian Industries, it's unclear which is more bleak. The elevator rises smoothly, its blanderized music assaulting you once again as you ascend to the executive floor. And your goal. Alright, let's have a quick look-see here. Taking a look around, we've been here already because there's body bags. That's always a good indicator of where we've been, just causing all kinds of trouble. I don't see anything that's looking particularly unlocked. Yeah, it looks like this place is pretty much watertight. To quote Airheads, like a dolphin's bum. So let's head on into Telestrian's office, or whatever his name was. Silverstar, that's what it was. Hey, there you are. It seems that some of my best are letting me down, and it's good to see that you're displaying one of the most important of my 3 key values. Well, it's duty above all, right? He laughs. Well, yes, that is the first value, and I'm glad more than those outside of security follow it, from a janitor no less. No, I'm speaking of my third and final value of vigilance, which seems to be sorely lacking around here. Thank you, sir. Well, rewards and punishments must be given where they're required. Now, please start filling out the report on the datapad. I'm afraid I have to ask you not to sit in my chair, given your attire, but I need to go back downstairs and investigate my findings. I'll be right back. Alright, so off he goes. Your comm link begins to ring, and you pick up. So these were the paintings. Wait, what is it? So these paintings must be what all those expensive deliveries were. We don't have much time. I'm tracking Silverstar, and he's already stepping off the elevator. I don't think your disguise will hold up much longer. I'll update you on his movements, but I think you should hurry, mon ami. Alrighty, so we've got paintings here. Let's see what's going on. This shows a profile of 3 elves in Telestrian security uniforms looking upwards at a flag flying the Telestrian logo. The plaque reads, Duty. Alright. Depicted as a clock tower at a train station in downtown Portland in the tier. The plaque reads, Efficiency. This is a photorealistic painting of 5 massive harvesters in Telestrian colors in a staggered formation cutting a swath across a rippling field of wheat. The plaque reads, Unity. This painting shows a wild mountain landscape with clouds ringing lofty peaks. The plaque reads Independence. This painting is of a small white house in an intense storm at night perched on a rocky outcropping. Its light stabs out into the darkness. The plaque reads Vigilance. Alright, well we know that vigilance and duty are 2, and duty's number 1. So let's do duty first. God. So many opportunities. So many opportunities. I suppose I'll try and brute force. I'm gonna guess that that's 3rd because he said it was the 3rd core value, so I guess I'm just gonna brute force it for the 2nd one. Efficiency, sure. Why? Hey, it opened up further. I guess we may have lucked out. He has a few guards, a tech worker, and a very nervous-looking wage slave gathered in the boardroom, and is beginning to question them. Alright, well let's try number 3 and see if this works out for us. So are we good now? Oh, we are. Fantastic. Why are angel statues always missing their heads? You ever noticed that? There's a safe that has a large DNA scanner on the front, most likely keyed to Mr. Silverstar. Okay, well, let's check. He's got a little bar over here. Maybe we can get, like, something, like lip prints or something off of the glass. There's an open bottle of expensive scotch and a single glass that appears to be half empty, and a half-smoked cigar. Pick up the cigar. I love cigars. It's a vice that I can't give up. I don't smoke them very often, but God, do I love them. Let's go ahead and use the cigar, see if we can get some of his saliva off of there. And I pronounced that wrong, of course, once again. Saliva, I know. There's a safe that has a large DNA scanner on the front, most likely keyed to Mr. Silverstar. We'll put the moist end of the cigar on the DNA scanner. With a moist click and a faint hiss of escaping air, the safe opens. Got the sample? Great work, mon ami. The time for stealth is past. It's set off every alarm in the system, but I've unlocked the executive elevator and your path is clear. Head there and make your escape. Alright, well you better have come through, pal. I'm getting real tired of this whole thing falling apart on me. This run has just been it's been a mess. From the beginning to the end, this entire run has just been nightmarish. There's a couple people right here. Hopefully they don't care that I'm sprinting through. This is a restricted area. You can't go in there. I don't care. Look at my face. See how much... You see these sideburns? These are sideburns that just don't care, my friend. They are sideburns that just do not care. The jack point seems to have been sealed up, so we can't do any late mission jacking in. I don't know where this corporate security elevator goes, but we're gonna jump in and just hope for the best here. And away we go. Ah, crap. Detective McCluskey stands smirking, surrounded by armed and twitchy Lone Star officers. Good morning, moron. Hey, Detective McCluskey, it's a fine day for police corruption, isn't it? His smirk broadens. Yeah, that's right, dummy. Keep flapping your jaw. That sort of thing will be perfect for where you're going. Mr. Telestrian wants to meet you in person. He wants to chat about last night's fun and games. You can come along quietly, or you can meet him in a body bag. He smiles wolfishly. Come on, Drek for brains. Make the wrong choice. Oh, I'm going to, but, you know, one day you and I are going to go round for round, McCluskey. Yeah, I'm counting on it, asshat. Well then. Every time. Nothing ever goes according to plan, does it, guys? Milk runs. Milk runs are always the... If we end up in prison and this turns into like a whole Oz type thing, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. From the floor of the Lone Star Cruiser, you watch the tops of the downtown corridor's office buildings disappear, replaced by the gray overcast of the I-90 bridge. The nylon restraints binding your wrists and ankles, along with McCluskey's whistling in the radio, make for an unpleasant ride. A half an hour later, the cruiser hits a whisper-smooth patch of road, and a magnificent mansion fills your view. Its design a blend of old-world finery and elvish grace. The car pulls to an abrupt halt, and you're dragged onto the driveway where McCluskey pulls a nasty-looking knife and cuts your bonds. You look up to see you're surrounded by a squad of green-clad ghosts, special forces troops from Tir Tyngir. Massaging the feeling back into your numb extremities, you prepare to meet the man himself, James Telestrian III. That or his last name is E, but I doubt his last name is E. Or L, I guess. It could be Lulala. But I'm going to go with the third. That seems like the best indication. Mr. Quoth. The fussy elf with the air of Victorian butler studies you before he speaks. He doesn't like what he sees. That is definitely facial hair that means business. Mr. Telestrian is expecting you. You'll find him in his office. You his butler? I am Mr. Quoth, the head of his household. Mr. Telestrian is waiting for you in his office. He's not one to be kept waiting. Alright, well let's talk to McCluskey and see what he's got for us. McCluskey smirks. Want some advice, moron? Yeah, of course you don't. You're a Shadowrunner and you live by your own rules, don't you? I suggest you keep your smart-ass remarks to yourself this time, human. Mr. Telestrian isn't some street meat you can impress or intimidate. He's the brains behind the throne of Tirtine Gear, and one of the richest men in Seattle. And he holds your leash, right, McCluskey? You his lapdog? His eyes say, I'd love to kill you right now, but his mouth continues the smirk. I got one of the richest and most powerful men in the Pacific Northwest taking care of me, dumbass. What do you got? Honor, my friend, honor. You're dumber than I thought. Enjoy your enjoy your chat. I'll dispose of your body later. I almost said shat, and I have no clue why I almost said that. It's the strangest thing. Sprint for the door. Oh, it won't let me. It won't let me click outside the perimeter. I bet I could outshoot them all. His candelabra only has like one of the candles lit, and it's off-center. The OCD side of me is just being driven crazy by that. There's Algernon over here. Let's see what he's got to say. There's a twinkle in Algernon's eye that wasn't there when you spoke at the Seamstress Union. It's good to see you again. There's much to do. What the hell are you doing here? I am doing what I do, Splattercat, providing those in need with the tools they require. Seek me out after you've spoken to James Telestrian. Perhaps I can be of service again. Strangely enough, I feel slightly better knowing that someone's here about to sell me high-grade explosives, weaponry, and anything else I can get my hands on before this whole thing hits the fan. Those guys have some pretty killer outfits. Where could I get me one of those? I'd be traveling, although I'd prefer mine in like a deep blue, I suppose. The baby puke green thing isn't doing it for me. As you approach, James Telestrian III looks up from the computer screen built into the surface of his desk and assesses you. Calculating and cold, a practiced smile comes to his face. He vibes the kind of rich you don't get from Trivid. He's not the clothing or the trappings or the bow before your better's mansion. Or it's not. It's something else, the feeling that you're being categorized as a resource, or a liability, or maybe even a pawn. I've been reviewing the results of your visit to my Seattle office last night. I admit they're impressive. You've generated a considerable amount of damage to my office complex, killed or wounded many of my security personnel, and cost my vice president of security his job. In 24 hours, you've accumulated quite a bill with me, sir. How do you intend to settle your debt? Well, we have a corporate etiquette check. I knew that would be a good choice. Once my current assignment is complete, I'd be happy to discuss working off my debt to you, Mr. Telestrian. That discussion may happen one day, assuming the outcome of this conversation doesn't result in your immediate termination. I don't think he means he's going to fire me. When one is in my debt, they remain in my debt until such time that I decide that the debt is repaid. There will be no negotiation on that point. However, you have one piece of information which you might use as a bargaining chip in the little time you have left to live. Why you took what you took. I'm interested to know why you and your team of criminals fought your way through my security teams and up to my private office to assess or access the Matrix and uncover the location of a simple research project. We can say it's the most protected item, and that's why we took it. It's the most valuable. We can say that your half-brother Sam Watts hired me to find his killer. He had a dead man's switch. When I find the killer, I get paid. Or we took the Aegis sample to kill giant insect spirits. God, I don't really know. I don't like either of these choices. I'd play it differently if it was me like playing the tabletop version or the pen and paper version. I would very much play this differently, but I suppose I'm gonna put it on the table right now, just balls to the glass and hope that this whole thing turns out well. You impress me, sir. My father's bastards are intentionally not well known, even to themselves. Nevertheless, I fail to see the connection between this Sam Watts death and a raid on one of my corporate buildings. There is no connection between the research project and the dead man that I'm aware of. Sam was killed by your half-sister Jessica. Jessica's protected by giant bugs. Aegis kills giant bugs, kill the bugs, kill Jessica, ergo get paid. I find your bluntness somehow refreshing. He touches a button on the desk. Mr. Quoth, please ask my daughter to join us. The young pretty elf has dark circles under her eyes and a haunted expression in her face. She recognizes you instantly. It's you! You're the man who helped me escape from the Universal Brotherhood. How did you get here? Telestrian cuts in quickly. Thank you, Mary Louise. You've confirmed the identity of your rescuer and given me reason to forgive him for his trespasses against me. Oh, lovely, lovely luck. Lovely luck. How you have played this hand. I'm so happy right now. She looks hungry for your help. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you got out okay, Marie-Louise. I'm not okay. I can't sleep at all. I'm afraid that this is a dream and that I'll wake up and we'll still be there with the bugs. You can relax, Marie-Louise. You're safe. It's over. No, it won't be over until they're all dead. She shudders. You didn't see them. You don't understand. You and those men, you flew in here. All you do is talk. It's just like you form a committee. It's just like you to form a committee, Father. I knew someone had to take action, and that's why I got Harkeem involved. The already cold exterior of James Telestrian III turns to ice. I see. It was you and your crippled little friend who leaked Aegis to this man. We will speak of this later in private. Now then, Splattercat, there are people I wish you to meet, the committee my daughter alluded to. This is a rare opportunity for a man of the streets such as yourself. I urge you to behave. We'll adjourn to the library. I'd be delighted. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but just behave. I said sarcasm. I don't know what it is about reading these, but it makes me pronounce things weird. Sarcasm, not sarcasm. That sounds like a chasm that you get SARS in. There's a weight in Telestrian's library, a sense of magnitude and of purpose. You are no longer in the presence of mere wealth. You're in the presence of history. And we can run around freely. I'm running freely around your office, man. What are you going to do about it? I'd shout we, but I'm afraid they'll just destroy me here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Splattercat. He's the human who saved my daughter and the only one who has faced our common enemy in combat. Herr Brockhaus, what does the representative of the great dragon Lofweir have to tell us about the magical insect this Shadowrunner has uncovered? Great dragons are involved. Brockhaus speaks slowly with a deep melodious German accent. He takes his time accentuating each word. I swear that I can say this. He's got sideburns too. See, he's a man who understands fine facial hair. He relishes each vowel and each consonant, testing them as if they were a delicacy. My Lord Lofweir has witnessed the insect spirit's physical manifestation before, roughly 9,000 years ago. As you are aware, magic ebbs and flows from the earth, cycling from peak to peak over the course of 5,200 years. As the level of magic grows, Hans dear, Harlequin's here. Interesting. Harlequin is from the Sega Genesis game, and he is very, very well connected. This is a terrifying human being that you really, really don't want to get in the way of. This guy is a legend. Like, he could make entire city blocks disappear, and nobody would ask a question about it. Hans dear, I love you, but you could babble on forever, and I believe time is of the essence. The painted elf addresses you. Splattercat, is it? Well, I'm delighted. The bug you fought was not merely a magically awakened animal like a wyvern or hydra or anything else in the Styx world. Or wyvern, I guess is another way you could say that. In fact, it isn't from this world at all. It's the physical embodiment of an insect spirit from another plane of existence. Well then, is that why I couldn't kill it? Exactly so. Your little buggy friend exists on both planes simultaneously. Now, an insect spirit can't simply thumb a ride through astral space and show up on Earth late for dinner. Dinner in this case being us. Two elements are required to bring one across the void. A shaman and a host. First, the spirit calls upon a shaman, often in dreams. The spirit seduces the shaman with promises of great power. The shaman then accepts the spirit as his totem. Next, the insect spirit requires a suitable host. The best candidates are the disaffected and the disenfranchised. In short, the weak-willed. Their minds are the most susceptible to suggestion. This is helpful in making the transformation. As you may imagine, these are the sort of people easily attracted to a cult, such as the Universal Brotherhood. Finally, by performing what has to be a truly disgusting ritual, the shaman serving as the insect totem implants the spirit into the host willingly or not. And then it's feeding time. Harlequin is correct. The insect spirit will then slowly consume its host while transforming it into the spirit's own insectoid body, thus manifesting itself fully on this plane. Whiz, bugs from another dimension that need killing. I get it. No, you don't, kid. Not by a long shot. This is bigger than hunting down an insect shaman and putting a few 9mm rounds into a bug. The initial bugs prepare a nest for the summoning of a queen. Once a nest has its queen, she literally explodes with newly manifested insect spirits. They swarm out of the nest, feasting on all the flesh they can find and implanting more insect spirits into the fresh corpses. Again, and again, and again. The room falls silent as they all consider the scenario, faces grim. Telestrian breaks the silence. This is not an infestation, Splattercat. It's an invasion. My Lord Lofweir knew this day would come, but he did not know precisely when nor where. Your rescue of Mr. Telestrian's daughter has exposed the existence of an insect spirit for the first time in this cycle of the world. Then why don't you just fire a cruise missile at the Brotherhood and call it a day? You half engaged the enemy. You know why. This insect spirit is only a resident in the transformed host body. Conventional weapons can hurt the body and can hurt the body and expose the spirit, but the spirit itself exists on two planes. It cannot be destroyed by mundane means. Hence, Project Aegis. Herr Telestrian's biotechnology and agricultural divisions worked with my Lord Lofweir's thaumaturg magical engineers and designed a Project Aegis to destroy an insect spirit once it's released from the host. The formula, a fluorescing astral bacterial strain, exists in the physical and astral plane at once and thus can affect the insect spirit. Now that was a mouthful. Did you memorize it or are you reading it off index cards? My director of R&D, Diane Ravenwood, will explain how Project Aegis will be used in the field. Dr. Ravenwood? Our weapons specialists have rapidly prototyped a delivery device for the fluorescing astral bacterial strain. It's FABs. I'm going to call it FABs from now on. They've created some prototype launchers which fire Aegis-filled shells. When fired, the shells will discharge a high-velocity stream of the bacteria. In order to destroy one of the bugs, it must first be damaged using conventional weapons and magic until the spirit is released from the host body. Then, the insect spirit must be shot with the Project Aegis prototype launcher to destroy it. It stomps bugs dead. Got it. Crudely put, but accurate. We must stop the Universal Brotherhood from summoning a queen, and we must stop them immediately. You are the only one who's been inside their facility, and the only one who personally fought the creatures before. That, along with your highly effective assault upon my property, indicates that you are the ideal person to lead the attack. I'm flattered. The painted elf grins and red lipstick catches in the light. Well, you should be. Come on, kid. When fate taps you on the shoulder, you gotta pay attention. Unfortunately, she's got the nasty habit of tapping you on the opposite shoulder so that you would turn around. She's on the other side giggling like a deranged schoolgirl. I hate that. Enough. Are you willing to undergo this mission, Splattercat? Well, you had me at killing bugs. Show me how to use Aegis and I'll get it done. Excellent. He claps his hand as if seeing the circus for the first time. I love the way that the short-lived are willing to die even faster. It's all very inspirational. Brockhouse raises his hand at Harlequin's clapping and instantly stops. There is one final note. A warning, if you will. You have seen the danger the insects represent, but you have not witnessed the shaman's power. This shaman must tap into a powerful source of magic in order to summon a magical queen, or a queen. We do not know what abilities that power source will grant. Beware of the insects, but do not underestimate the shaman. Hey, don't scare the kid, Hansel. We need him to we actually need him to go on the mission. By the by, I'm coming with you, Splattercat. I wouldn't mind seeing those creatures for myself. I missed them last time. Telestrian will bankroll you so you can hire the rest of the team. Find me when you're ready to go and we'll bug right out of here. Telestrian sighs. Yes, speak with Harlequin when you're ready to depart. If you wish to acquire additional supplies for your mission, find my assistant Quoth. He can be highly resourceful. Okay then. Well, we haven't found a save point just yet. So I suppose we'll break the episode off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle. We're going to continue this one in the next run right when we start up. Actually, we'll cut this one long. Never mind. I'm going to be... Yeah, we've got an extra couple minutes to play with, so let's see what we can do here. Where is Mr. Quoth? There's a lot of people we can talk to. Well, I'm a little tempted, actually, just to jump. Yeah, we'll break it. I think we're at like 40 minutes anyway, so... My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here. I'm sorry for the 40-yard fake out here. We'll pick this up right where we left off in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and I will see you next time.